Welcome, everybody, to our virtual event, and I'm so excited about it. Gift yourself a home, courtesy of Industrial Bank. I'm so excited about today. Tell everybody that's watching to like and to share, right? If you're interested in buying a home, if you're interested, first time buyer, want to get a new home, it's the Christmas season. Why not bless yourself with one, right? So, we're going to tell you how you could do it and why it's a good time to do it even right now. So, let me introduce my guest to you today. I have Tammy Barrett. She is the Vice President and Director of Residential Lending at Industrial Bank. Hey, Tammy, how are you?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I can't wait for the information. Also, Sabrina Harper is with us. She's the principal for Platinum Title Group. Sabrina, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's going to be a good conversation. And Shanique Purnell, she is the AVP of underwriting or underwriter manager at Industrial Bank as well. So we got the big wigs. Hi, Shanique.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for
We are
having me.
excited. We're excited about this conversation. So, again, if you are looking for a home or you're thinking about buying, we've got all the information that you need today with these amazing ladies. I love when it's an all girl panel. It's just girl power everywhere today, right? So
Yeah.
excited about, thank you to Industrial Bank for also sponsoring it. So I'm going to jump right in because I don't want, I know that we'll at some point get questions from our audience. And if you have questions or comments, we'd love for you to just put it in your chat and let us know. I mean, we'll address your questions today. But yeah, a lot of people will probably ask the question, why are you guys talking about home ownership around Christmas? Well, because you can gift yourself a home if you get the process started. So let's go to Tammy. Tammy, why is now a great time to gift yourself a new home?
Well, it's the holiday season.
Yeah.
So, this is the month that we give gifts. So, why not gift yourself a home? Interest rates are coming down. Industrial Bank has plenty of products to help all types of borrowers, from conventional loans to FHA loans to VA loans. We offer a plethora of mortgage lending products.
I like it. It's Christmas. Why not? Put them red bottoms back if you're in an apartment and get yourself a home, okay? Get you something that you could call your own. So
That's right.
walk us through the steps we'll be discussing today if you're applying for an approval.
Sure, absolutely. So, in my department, I'm the director of residential lending for Industrial Bank. We have a team of production employees that really focus on sales. So, they're bringing in mortgage loans. So, what we typically do, we will pair our borrowers or any interested applicants with a mortgage loan officer. That mortgage loan officer is then responsible for working with that particular applicant or borrower throughout the entire process, explaining to them everything that's necessary to complete the loan application, as well as the products that we offer. I like to say that the loan officer basically is the project manager for the entire process while they're working with the borrower to purchase a home.
People, it seems like it's such a hard process you have to go through because, of course, you have to prove to the lender that you can not only purchase this home, but you can afford this home and all of that. And that's where the tedious things come in, right? And so it scares people away from wanting to be homeowners, but it's a part of the process of life. And I think that we really need to really focus on how we can be homeowners and own our own. Our parents did that. Our parents made sure they were owners, right? Not just renters their entitled life. They wanted to leave us something, a legacy. And my parents did that for me. So our family home belongs to me and my brother. And we were able, and so my brother and my sister-in-law live there, but it's our property and it's in DC and forever something that we can continue to leave legacy with. So Tammy, let's talk about it. How does one get started in this process? Because that's the first key. Let's get started.
So, Cheryl, I'm so glad that you mentioned the position that your family put you and your siblings in, because at Industrial Bank, we focus on building generational wealth. So, that's a classic example of how families can build generational wealth. So if someone wants to apply for a loan with Industrial Bank, they can apply online on our website. They can work directly with one of our mortgage loan officers. Typically, if loans come to me, I will assign them to someone on my team, and that loan officer will work directly with that individual from the beginning to the end. We have Shanique on the call right now, and I like to say that Shanique is the approver, but also the denier of loans. But the one great thing about it, Shanique works with individuals to let them know she wants to approve loans. So she'll make sure that you know how to not be denied for a mortgage loan.
I like that. I like that. So Shanique, we're going to be nice to you because we want you to approve some loans. But I love what Tammy said as well, because not only will she approve, but she'll tell you how. You know what I mean? If the denial comes, then there's a process of how you can get things started. So what types of mortgage loans do you offer at Industrial Bank?
Sure. So we offer conventional loans. A conventional loan is probably the more common loans that most people hear. Conventional loans typically require a borrower to put down between 5 and 20%. If someone wants to put down 20%, that means that they do not have to carry what's called mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance protects the loan, protects the bank in case a borrower were to default. However, if you're going to put down 5%, we would have to acquire mortgage insurance for the loan. That's the more common loan, a conventional loan. In addition to offering conventional loans, we offer FHA loans. So an FHA loan is a government-backed loan, the more easier loan to get into. Typically, borrowers can get in with a 580 credit score and also put down 3.5% towards your down payment. With the FHA loan also, the seller can pay most of the closing costs as well. So usually with the FHA government loans, those are typically the more common loans that first-time home buyers use. We also are a VA lender. So our veterans are eligible to apply for a VA loan, which is backed by the Veterans Administration. And those loans can go up to 100% financing, meaning that the borrower doesn't have to put down anything and the seller can pay their closing costs.
Got it. Got it. So what if, like myself, because I have two different properties, what if I'm looking to do some renovations to present in our home? Do you offer those types of construction loans or reconstruction loans, or what would you call them?
So I would call it a renovation loan.
Got it.
So Industrial Bank does work with various partners that will allow you to do a renovation loan. So if you came to us and you said, I want to update my kitchen and I want to customize my floors or customize my countertops, we can work with various partners to help you with a renovation loan. You would just need to provide us with your plans and specs, what you want to do in order to upgrade your kitchen. We can help you with how much that would cost. Well, you would tell us what the plans and specs require, and then we would tell you how much we can loan you.
Got it. Got it. So for those of us that are homeowners and around Christmas, we are trying to get some things done, or even before the spring. So what is the difference between a HELOAN or a HELOC?
Great question. That's an excellent question. So a HELOAN is a fixed loan. So Cheryl comes into Industrial Bank and you say, I want to borrow $50,000 because I want to do renovations to my home. So you go through the mortgage process, underwriting with Shanique, we close the loan. You immediately start making mortgage payments the next month after your loan closes. It's a
Got it.
fixed payment, so it doesn't change. So you always know what your payment is going to be. A HELOC, on the other hand, that really works like a credit card. You're paying
Oh,
back only what you
only what you
use.
use. Got it.
The HELOC, however, is a variable rate, so it will adjust based
Oh,
on the market rate. And the beginning of the repayment period for a HELOC is interest only. And after 10 years of making interest-only payments, it'll convert to what's considered a fully amortized loan where you would pay principal and interest.
Oh, interesting. So you have the convenience of saying, I only want to use this much of it, but there are some other stipulations with regards to that interest rate of influxing a little bit might be a little scary because you don't know what
Yes.
that variable rate will be, right? So, but some people that loan may work for. So all the property, all the different products is easy. Is good for us to know about. If you're just tuning in, I have the experts from Industrial Bank because it is the holiday, and this is a good time for you to buy a home. And so we want to talk about it. We want to be homeowners in our community. We want to own our own, and so I'm excited about it. I do see a number of friends on our Facebook thread. So if you have questions, if you have comments, be sure to drop them right there in our comment section, and we will address it with our experts. All right, so Shanique is with us, and she is the AVP and underwriter manager at Industrial Bank. And so,
Yes.
Shanique, what is a debt to income or ETI ratio, and what does it matter? Because you hear those terms, you hear those, every time you try to apply for a loan, they want to know your debt to income ratio. So talk about that. Break that down for us.
So that's one of my favorite subjects to talk about. So the debt to income ratio is actually a formula that we use to measure an applicant's debt load up against what their monthly income is. So the debt to income also includes obligations such as mortgages, car loans, any credit card payments, and that amount is actually divided by your monthly income, which gives us a percentage ratio. And that is in simplest words, your debt to income ratio.
Got it. So you guys need to know what you already have, what kind of debt you already have, what money you already have coming in, and how that fares. So is there enough wiggle room for a
Yes.
mortgage or something else? So you kind of have to review that. Now, what if I'm a seasonal employee and earn seasonal income? How does this affect my approval chances?
So this is another good one. So seasonal employment would be for a lot of applicants who have landscaping businesses or jobs, also contractors. So we know during the certain months they're unable to work. So with seasonal employment, some of these individuals also receive unemployment compensation. Not many know that you can also use your unemployment compensation during your off seasons to help you qualify for the loan. So as long as it's showing it's reoccurring, it depends on the line of business, of course. And as long as you're showing your unemployment compensation being filed with your tax returns, we can use the seasonal income and also your unemployment compensation to help you qualify for the loan.
That's good because it is income, right? Because it is
Mhm.
something that's sustaining you, and you could take those into consideration. Now, what if I change jobs or make a large purchase during underwriting? Because I know when my husband and I, we purchased our home literally like 25 years ago, but I remember we're in the lending process. They were like, don't buy anything right now.
Yes.
Like, I want to know what your income is now. Don't add anything else to that line. So what if you change jobs in the midst of your home buying process, and you purchase a large something large in the midst?
So first and foremost, I want to discuss about making large purchases. That's something that you really do not want to do because again, that will affect your debt to income ratio. You don't want that to happen, right? Because at that point, you may be denied for the loan because you went out and bought a car prior to your loan closing. So I urge everyone, stay away from opening up any new credit cards, obtaining any new debt such as car loans, or anything like that. Stay away from that. Make sure your loan closes first before you go out and incur new debt. As far as the changing of jobs, that's another good subject that I like to discuss. If you have a individual that just finished college, you can use your college education by way of your transcripts to compensate for your lack of 2-year employment history. So yes, this is something that I love to share with people. So if you have a college graduate who have just finished with a 4-year degree and they land their first job, earning a sufficient amount of income to qualify for the loan, you don't need to have a 2-year employment history on that job because you went to school, and you can document that by way of your transcripts. Now, if you're moving around in jobs and making frequent job changes within a 12-month period, that's another subject, right? Because now it's going to raise concern for me to look at your stability of your employment and your income. But as long as you can document that you've increased your earnings by changing these jobs, or maybe perhaps the new employer has provided better benefits to you and your family, then that would be a reason for you to have multiple job changes if that's the case. So you want to be mindful of that when you're in a mortgage loan, or when you're deciding to pursue a loan, that you slow down a little bit, decide what you want to do, minimize any job changes. But if you have to, just make sure that you meet those criteria that there shows an increase in earnings or perhaps better benefits.
That's really good. That's good information. One thing I know about any type of profession, the lingo we may not understand or know, right? And so it always takes you getting the process started, asking as many questions as you possibly can. Because if you came to the radio station and I just asked you to run the board, you're going to say, what? You're going to say, what audio? Do what now? Equalizing what? And so so that's how we feel sometimes coming into the bank, because we may not understand the banking system. But Shanique, what you just shared is so clear, is so understood. So you have to go in first and get things started so you can ask the questions, and you guys will have the answers for us as to what we need to do, instead of running away from what we think is too hard to do. When you're in the process of buying a home, any big purchase, the lenders want to know, can you afford this? And they're going to ask the hard questions. And so it might be you trying to get credit together. It might be that you already have the credit. You just have to get the ball rolling. So go see Tammy and Shanique, right?
Yes.
All right.
And join us Saturday.
And join us. And that before I mean, I know we're going to get to the workshop, but I do want to ask that. Industrial Bank is such a community bank. I was sharing the last time we did a live. What I love about Industrial Bank is the involvement in the community, is what you guys do as you reach the community. You really want to see people like us prosper financially.
Right.
And so there are some things that you can do before actually getting the ball rolling, right? That you can go and learn. And one thing is this workshop that you have coming. We're going to talk extensively about it, but briefly, I don't care which one, if it's Tammy or Shanique or whoever wants to talk about the workshop, just give us the who, what, where, and when's real quick.
Tammy.
Sure, absolutely. So this coming Saturday at our Largo office at 99 Commerce Place in Largo, Maryland, we will be conducting a home buyer workshop. Gift yourself a home. And in that workshop, we will have various experts who will be presenting. Sabrina Harper, who's joining us right now, she'll be joining us as well to talk about title insurance. We have a real estate agent who'll be there. We'll have an appraiser. We'll have a home inspector as well. And Industrial Bank is a preferred lender for various down payment assistance agencies in the area. So we'll have them there as well to talk about down payment assistance agencies and how you can be qualified to get down payment assistance. The one beautiful thing about our workshop on Saturday, we will have a HUD-approved counseling agency there that will provide counseling certifications at the end of the workshop that all of the attendees will be able to use in order to qualify for down payment assistance.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
That is so awesome. That is
We're excited.
Because oftentimes you got to pay for that. Oftentimes you got to pay for that type of assistance. So like I said, I love that Industrial Bank, being Black owned, is a bank that really want to see the community prosper. So guys, take advantage of this workshop. The information is scrolling at the bottom. Jot it down. And again, here's opportunity for you to ask questions, even if you're not in the DMV and you have questions for any one of the experts that we have here today. Take advantage of that. All right. So this is a number one question, I'm sure, Tammy. People always want to know, how much do I have to have saved? How much do I have to put down? Is there any down payment assistance? with regards to it, because maybe the down payment that I have, I may need to put into, I don't know, furnishings or whatever it is that you might need down the line. So what is required? What's the required down payment on most mortgage loans? And is down payment assistance available?
So the minimum amount for, as I mentioned earlier, an FHA loan is 3.5%. However, with some of the down payment assistance agencies that we've partnered with and become a preferred lender, they will provide you with the down payment assistance and in some cases, closing costs as well, which means that our borrowers come out of pocket with next to nothing.
Wow.
So this is something that is very important for Industrial Bank. In fact, as a CDFI, a community financial development institution, a large part of our profits go right back into the community so that we can educate the community on the importance of home ownership, on the importance of financial education. So these things are very near and dear to Industrial Bank.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not just what we're talking, but I've seen it. Like working in media, I've seen the number of things that Industrial Bank has done. I've been a part of workshops that I'll just see Mr. Mitchell come and just give words or just, sharing from his heart for absolutely free, right? And just sharing how you can make your dollar work for you. So take advantage of the workshop that's happening this Saturday. Now, are these programs, your team of mortgage lenders, are there programs that your team of mortgage lenders will share at the workshop, or are these the programs that they will share, or are you going to give us some of the programs that they're going to share? I guess I should ask.
Yes, so our team will talk about the programs and then we'll have representation from those particular agencies at the workshop on Saturday. And if I didn't say it, it's free. So we love free.
Yeah.
So please come and get this good information.
Yep, I said it. It's free. It's free.
Yes.
And oftentimes, the events that you guys have in the community is, and you guys come out to churches, you guys do workshops, and you go to public events, schools, all types of places, just to make sure that we are in a space financially that that we can make ourselves comfortable as African Americans. And I love that. And not just African Americans, but those of us in the community. If there's an industrial bank near you, they want to see you prosper. And that's the awesome thing. All right, Karen Turner has a question. She says, good afternoon. Is this going to be in person only, or is it available virtually as well? That's a great question. Since we're on social media, I'm sure there's people watching all over the country right now.
So it is in person, but we will be streaming.
Oh, yeah. So it is virtual then. Yeah.
It's primarily in person. So Shanique will be there, Sabrina will be there, and then we have about 7 other presenters that will be there as well in person.
Right. And it's probably better, especially for those who can get there in person, because you can talk one-on-one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
With the experts that's there. But I love that you are offering it on a stream as well, that people can take notes with some of the keynote speakers that's going to be there. All right, that's this Saturday, everybody, this Saturday at 3 p.m. And so, I'm sorry.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. I saw the last number. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're scrolling a little quick there. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's right here on the bottom, so you can jot it down. It's on our banner. You can jot it down. And you do have to register, though, even though it's absolutely free. Go to eventbrite.com and register so that you are in the building. All right, Sabrina, I know you're here. I haven't ignored you. I have questions for you as well.
No problem.
What is title insurance, and why is it important? Before I even ask about title insurance, tell us what your role is as a title group, right? As opposed to what as that is related to Industrial Bank, because there are different companies that partner with financial lenders that make sure home ownership is like different pockets of companies that we need to make sure that we get in our place. So tell us what your role is from Platinum Title.
So at Platinum Title Group, we are a title insurance company. We've actually been doing business with an Industrial Bank since 2008. I personally have been doing business with them for a good long time now. And we've built that relationship. So we conduct their real estate closings, whether they're purchases or refinances or the HELOCs. We pull the title to the property, make sure that the title is clear and that the industrial bank is going to be in their lien position, especially for the sake of foreclosures, unfortunately. So we issue them the lender's title insurance. So title insurance is two. You have owners and you have lenders, right? So the owner's title insurance, it is optional when you purchase the property. You can actually buy it at any time, but it's a more tedious process and it might cost a little differently. So when you purchase the property, to buy the owner's title insurance is the one-time premium. And as long as your name is on the title to your home, your title is insured. What that looks like is you have things that people in the past, like if there was an estate in the chain of the title and someone died. So probate requires that you file notice in the newspaper in the area where the probate is open for that property. So for example, if an estate was open in Prince George's County, they're going to publicize in the newspaper in Prince George's County. But if you live in Alaska and you're a possible heir, you don't get that notice, right? So the property could exchange hands 2-3 times. And eventually someone comes up from Alaska and say, hey, my grandmother died and I have interest in that property. So your owner's title insurance, you call the number on your policy jacket and legal team would get right on it. It represents you. Now, the downside to not having owner's title insurance is the possibility that you can be spending a lot of legal fees out of your pocket and potentially lose your home. So it's kind of a big deal. So that's one of the reasons why you should get owners. The lender's title insurance protects the lender once again in their lien position. So it's a requirement. 99% of the lenders all over the United States wants lender's title insurance. And what we're doing is making sure that the lender is in that first lien position. If it's a full refinance, if it's a HELOC, that's clearly going in second lien position behind the first mortgage. But they want to be in that position for the sake of foreclosure. The only exception to any mortgages is the good IRS. We have to pay our taxes.
And we got to pay our taxes.
Yes.
There's no way around that.
No way around that.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we conduct the closings for Industrial Bank. We go to them or their clients come to us. We travel. We have a team of professionals that travel everywhere. And again, 20, 25 years or close to it, a relationship with doing business with the bank and service in the community has been awesome.
Awesome. I like it. I like when we get to the title company because we get into the closing of things. When you start bringing in the title company, you know you're coming to the end of the process, and I love it. So make sure that you know more about title insurance and what the difference is between lender and owner title insurance. All right, Sabrina. What are the monthly or annual premiums, and how does one get owner's title insurance? I mean, Sabrina talked about the difference in them. So how do we get it?
So we typically suggest that you always purchase it when you purchase the property. Right. The benefit of that is you can there's a discount because if you're getting a loan, it's called a simultaneous issue for lenders and owners at the same time. Right? And that's based upon the sales price of the property. Obtaining it later can cost you more. If your value go up, we're going to require a new appraisal to the property. And there's a few other conditions, right? So it's always best to buy when you purchase a home. It's the one-time premium, and the premium, how it's calculated, is based upon that sales price and that loan amount. So for example, if it's a $250,000 purchase price, it is about $4.50 per thousand, right? So you're looking at $1,000 something. Mm-hmm. And then you get the discount on the lender's title premium if you purchase them together.
Oh, got
it's the one time. That's it. As long as your name has to be on the deed to the home. Mm-hmm. Once you deed yourself off to your kids or grandkids, your title is no longer protected.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's for you specifically.
Got it. And so when you deed it to an heir, they also have to get title insurance?
Yes, because it protects you and your title. So who's on that deed? Now, adding someone to your deed, you can add your children to your deed or your grandkids, but your name stays on it. Your title's still protected. But once your name is removed, it's no longer valid because it's actually your policy and protects the title as long as you have ownership.
So I need title insurance. I might have to
Give me
call
a
you.
call. I'll
I
take
may
care
have
of
to
you.
call you because the house has been deeded to us, right? So my brother and I were on the deed when my mother passed. Then we changed the title to just both of us. And
Mhm.
so if she had title insurance and we don't, we need to get it.
Yes, ma'am. Give me a call. I'll take care of you.
Listen, you learn something new every day. I'm gonna have to
Sabrina will
call.
take care of you.
I know
Yes,
she
she
will.
will.
I know she will.
We're
Wow, I
grateful
didn't
for
know
the
that.
partnership.
Yeah. Because we've, my mother paid for the house years ago, right? The house was paid for in 78,
Oh,
right?
wow.
I know. And so all we have to pay is, is taxes on it. And of course, the upkeep of it. And I am thinking about a reconstruction loan because we do need to do some renovations and things. So, okay. So am I just making this about me? I'm sorry. Listen.
Before we continue, Cheryl, just one correction. Saturday's event will be 100% in person. We will not be
Got
streaming.
you. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
Okay, got it. So Miss Karen Turner, who asked the question, it will not be streaming. It will be 100% in
Yes.
person, which I think is great anyway, because again, you get that touchy-feely. You need to get to talk to a person one-on-one and get all the information that you need. So if you're in the area or if you're planning to come to the area, go ahead and register right now on Eventbrite. All right. If I'm selling my home, Sabrina, why do I need to know the conditions of my title, and what is the purpose of having what they call a survey? What is the purpose of having a survey?
So the reason why you should always know the condition of your title is because some people do have owner's title insurance. When we're going to clear up title on refinances, there could be a previous owner lien on your title, right? We can do what's called an indemnity. We can get that indemnified, which means it still stays on that title, right? But if you don't go back to the same title company, they have to start from scratch. So giving them the owner's title policy, they can do an indemnity letter. But if you don't have it, that lien is on the title to your home and you go to sell your home, you have a previous owner deed of trust still on the property on your title to your home, right? That title company has to clear that lien up because that standardized contract states that the seller is going to convey clear title. It's not clear. Judgments are also pulled when we do a title search, and they're called same name judgments. If your name is Johnny Smith, guess how many millions of Johnny Smiths out there?
Right.
Yes.
So all of that comes up. So if you don't know the condition of your title, it can hold up closing and potentially cancel that contract. So we always suggest that you get a title search. The survey, the importance of a survey. So we've always had this debate with a lot of lenders that they don't require a survey. However, they require certain endorsements with their lender's title policy from us, which requires a survey. So and one of those endorsements is an Alta 9. The Alta 9 is the number one issue we have when it comes to surveys and whether the lender or title is requiring a survey. What the Alta 9 does is it protects the lender from any encroachments or anything that could be shown on a survey that can affect their position, or a lawsuit can happen. So your property can encroach on someone else's land, and without having that survey, you won't know that, right? But we're issuing that policy to the lender with that Alta 9 saying, hey, we don't have any known violations or issues. So we believe that it's always important to have a house location survey. You don't have to get a boundary. A boundary is actually when they go out there and they do the degrees and stakes, put actual stakes in the ground. A house location shows you any easements or, rights of ways. It shows you what's on that property, your boundary line, your actual drawing of the actual dwelling of the house, and your fence. So it lets us know if your fence is encroaching on someone else's land, and potentially your neighbor could be encroaching on your property, and you might want to know that as well.
And all of that you can find on your title.
The survey is ordered separately, but everything else you find on your title.
Got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it. It's so much.
Good information. Yeah. That's good
So
information.
much great information. So much great information. I'm learning so much. If I'm making it about me, I'm sorry, but it's good. It's good stuff. Listen, if you have questions, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead, jot your question. No question is too simple or crazy to ask unless it's not about homeownership. Um, ask your question, and we want to pose it to the experts today. And we want to also prepare you for Saturday. Saturday, there is a free workshop. Tammy, go ahead and give us the information again.
Sure. So we will have a free in-person workshop this coming Saturday at our administrative offices in Largo, Maryland. That address is 99 Commerce Place in Largo, Maryland. The workshop will begin at 10 a.m. and ends at 3 p.m. We will have several subject matter experts in attendance, including myself, Sabrina, Shanique. We also have down payment assistance agencies there, real estate agents, homeowners insurance agents, a home inspector, and others as well. So please join us on Saturday.
Everybody you need in place if you're interested in purchasing a home. How about people who might be interested in refinancing?
Absolutely.
So come
Please
too.
join us. Yes,
That's right.
repeat buyers are welcome.
Awesome. I want to touch on everything. We still have a lot more time to go. Let's talk about some of the people, like you said, that will be there, and give us description. Like you talked about real estate agents. When it comes to a realtor or real estate agent, tell us the difference in that, and then and how that ties into Industrial Bank.
So I'm going to turn that one over to Shanique to talk about
Okay.
the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent.
So essentially, the two are kind of the same. It really just depends on the state that you're from. Some call themselves real estate agents, some call them salesperson, and some call them realtors. It really just depends.
Oh,
However, the brokerage is where the realtor or real estate agent, that is, hangs their license. And then they're your first point of contact for the most part. So when you're interested in purchasing a home, your first call is really to a real estate agent. They take you around, find you a home. And at that point, the very first thing that real estate agent will ask you for is, do you have a pre-approval letter? Which is very important. That's a very important step, because most real estate agents do not want to continue working with you if you haven't spoken to a lender right away to find out whether or not you have been pre-approved. So how that normally works, and we'll get into that more during the workshop, is when the borrower makes a contact to our MLO, who is our mortgage loan officer, they say, I'm interested in a mortgage. I have a realtor that I'm working with. Can you tell me how much home I can afford? At that point, our mortgage loan officer will collect certain documentation from the borrower, such as their income, their asset bank statements, and even run their credit report. All of that information is submitted to myself. And then at that point, I review what's in the loan file and issue a pre-approval once I come to the determination that the borrower is approved. I issue the pre-approval. They have a letter in hand that says you have been pre-approved by Industrial Bank, which means that the underwriter has reviewed your income, your assets, and your credit report. Right. So the only thing that we'll be waiting on is just for you to enter into a fully executed contract. But you'll have your pre-approval upfront in hand from the very beginning as you're shopping for your home.
oh, and that's your superpower.
That is your buying power. Yes, it is. That is your buying power.
That's you being able to say, this is how much I can afford. I've already gone through the process, as opposed to you finding a house and then coming to the bank and saying, hey, can I get pre-approved for this amount?
Yes. So you don't want to do that. You want to come see Industrial Bank first. You want us to evaluate all criteria of your request for the loan, your income, your credit, your assets. Let the underwriter tell you how much home you can afford. And now you have your buying power in your hand. So as you're running around and shopping for a home with the real estate agent, you know exactly what you need to be looking for. It's a very simple process. It's not as hard as many people think it is. So we're here to help you.
And one
Talk
thing
us
that we
through it.
encounter, Cheryl, sometimes our borrowers and the agents, they want to know that a mortgage loan has actually been underwritten by an actual underwriter. Well, here at Industrial Bank, once the loan officer submits that file, it goes right to Shanique, and Shanique can let the mortgage loan officer as well as the agent know she's reviewed the file and she's able to provide a full pre-approval for that loan.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. All right, we have a question from our
One other
audience.
thing I wanted to just add on the pre-approval, and our turn times for our pre-approvals are within 24 hours. So that's something that you get right on the spot. Once the loan officer submits, you'll have that decision in 24 hours.
Wow. But you have to have all the elements that you need in
Yes.
order to turn
Yes.
that around. So you
Yes.
got to have your income statements, you got to have
Yes.
your income tax statements, you got to have all the things that's required, credit reports, all the things.
Yes.
So make sure that you have your ducks lined up. All right, we do have a question from the audience.
Okay.
All right, Jolly Grace says, will there be another workshop in the new year? I'm probably can't make this one. So is there another one that you have coming up? They always have community events though. So
We do, absolutely. So we will probably, we're targeting at least 3 for 2025.
oh, wonderful, wonderful. This is good. All right. Karen says, can you please come to Southern Maryland? That's not far for you to drive to the one that's on Saturday. Charles County properties are booming out here. Absolutely. But I mean, they'll lend in Charles County. So come on up.
Absolutely.
Yes,
We lend in the
yes.
entire state of Maryland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on up, honey. Come on up the Beltway and come and check out the workshop on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Charles County
I
is
promise
that
you,
welcoming.
you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, come on up from Charles County because they'll be able to lend for there too. And you're right, property is booming in Southern Maryland with land. So houses are not on top of each other and all of that. You can get a big house. A big house for it. Yeah. So, okay. So my husband and I, when we first, we were so green when we first started, trying to purchase our home. And this again was 25 years ago. And so we just started going to builders, right? We started seeing the different types of builders that we had. And so we made the mistake and tried to find the house first and then had to figure out because they do offer that on your property, but you don't. I found out that you don't want to specifically use the people that they have just at the builder. Again, the superpower is being able to go to Industrial Bank and get your pre-approval so that when you go to the builder, you'll know which house you can purchase. So when I say that's your superpower, you said something, Shanique, that make this the first stop. Make this the first stop, the pre-approval. So we made the mistake and did it the other way. And then we tried to piece these loans together to get the house that we wanted. We had a balloon loan at one time. We made so many mistakes. It was so crazy back then. This was before the whole housing market fell and all of that. This was when, we were able to get good interest rates, but we didn't know anything about it. Yeah. So make yourself educated. It was a learning process. By the time we refinanced, we had it down pack, I got to tell you. But but we had to figure it out. We got to get rid of this balloon loan is what we got to do first off, and reapply for this loan. And we were able to do that. But even being homeowners is still so much that we can learn. It's still so much, even now, because what happened 25 years ago is not happening right now in finances, right? Talk about how it's evolved a bit, Tammy.
Sure, absolutely. And one thing that I wanted to just share with our listeners. So the one thing about Industrial Bank, because we are a community bank, you can touch us. So you can ask certain questions. So our underwriter is available. She answers her phone. So if there are any questions that a borrower has or a loan officer has, specifically as it relates to a loan, we have self-employed borrowers. And a lot of times those are very complicated loans. Well, that's Shanique's area of expertise. So a loan officer or the borrower can contact her and ask specific questions on how to get approved if you are a self-employed borrowers.
Oh, that's big because banks now it's all digital and virtual. And even walking into some banks, they're still not a person. You still have to log on somewhere and talk to some people or call an 800 number. So I love that about Industrial Bank. And we can go in and set an appointment and sit down.
We actually pride ourselves for that reason.
That is so good.
That's
That
the
is
core of our business. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure that we are constantly providing education and financial literacy to our borrowers and to the community. So it's not anything for me to go to a bank branch to meet someone to support the loan officers who are servicing the bank branches. So if a borrower comes in or potential applicant comes in, we're there to answer any questions.
That's so good.
And it's not often as a title company that you see communication from the underwriters. We very rarely.
Really?
I get that all the
Very
time.
Now, Shanique, if I send a question over, I get title work back and I'm asking the processor or the LO, the next email comes back is from Shanique. And I love that
Yeah.
because that's direct. We
Yeah.
can just, instead of, we get rid of the middle person. And
Oh
go
my
direct.
Thank you for
goodness.
saying that, Sabrina.
Ooh, I can't stand a middle person. Like you got, I can't stand it. I can't stand hit the
But
one
she's great.
and if you want this, hit the 4. I can't stand it. Like I want to
Yes.
talk to somebody. I want to go intangibly and see how we can work this thing out. So if you want to get started, guys, again, we keep talking about this workshop. So come on up from St. Charles County. Come on up from Charles County. Come on over from Baltimore. Come on over from Hanover. Come on over from all the surrounding areas and be a part of this.
Virginia.
Northern Virginia.
Virginia.
Including Virginia. We lend in Virginia. Absolutely.
Yeah. Direct. Come on, hashtag direct communication.
Yes, I like that.
Come on. So yeah, talk about some common mistakes. Either one of you guys can jump on this. Some common mistakes, not just even first-time buyers make, but people are wanting to lend. Now, number one, the first mistake is that they didn't come to you first. Number one, right? But let's get that out the way. But what are some common mistakes that people make when
I could take this one. One of the things I always say is be honest. No matter what your situation is, be honest with the team that you are working with. Be honest with your underwriter when questions are being asked. It's for a reason, right? Because every scenario, every borrower situation is completely different. But be honest. Tell me what's going on. Tell me where the hiccups are. And together, we'll work it out. There are things that I can adjust certain situations, or maybe some exceptions could be made. It depends, but you have to be honest. If you're not honest with myself or my loan officer, then there's no way that we can help you if you're not honest with us. So that honesty is first for me.
Anyway,
He's gonna find it. He's gonna find it.
Just be honest. That's the one thing I always say, right? Be honest.
And then I get a phone call. Call, and we have to figure out how we can help a borrower because they weren't forthcoming with information in the beginning of the loan process. So, and unfortunately, it can make or break a transaction if a borrower is not upfront.
And it can make the process longer, right?
Yes.
Like
unnecessarily.
You have issues here because again, we said it earlier, Shanique, that even if the loan is denied, then there are programs and there are some ways that you can build your credit or do whatever it is you need to correct in order to get into the home. So don't be afraid of the no, because the no could help you, could educate you. The no could help you get into the place you're trying to get into, right? It can position you. Even look for the no's, right? Look for what it is you have to do to get to the place of home ownership. So maybe you're not ready for it now, but let Industrial Bank walk you through the process. Let them say, hey, maybe not now, but do this, get this corrected, bring your income level up to this, or get rid of some of the debt that you have right now. So that we can lend. Let them give you the answers. Don't be afraid of the no. In fact, let the no fuel you to get what it is you need to get. That'll preach, girl. Let me write that down.
Sure. One of the great things.
Thank you for that question, because that's something that really needed to be said and heard.
So one of the great things about Saturday, we're going to have a HUD-approved counseling agent available. So, and they're going to talk about credit and money management. So that's very important. So you need to understand the importance of having a budget, understanding credit, understanding money. A lot of people really don't understand it. So again, this is that part that I absolutely love. It's the financial literacy and education. So we'll have that part built into the workshop on Saturday. Saturday. In fact, we'll probably spend a good 30 to 45 minutes just on credit and money management.
Oh, good, 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 good. All right, guys, it's the Christmas season, and you know you want to be a homeowner. You know you want to stop renting. You know you want to have something to call your own. You know you want to leave legacy for your family. This is where you need to get started. All right. So stop procrastinating. Stop saying I don't make enough. Stop saying I'm robbing
That's
Peter
right.
to pay Paul. Let's do some action work in place and gift yourself the gift of home for this holiday season. We got about 10 more minutes to go. If it's anything else that you guys want to share in your various departments.
Just for the fact that coming into the workshop on Saturday, there's going to be a whole lot more I'm going to share, such as all the different income sources that you can use to qualify with, rental income from the proposed rental property that you want to purchase. Those things, I'm going to give away a lot of gems there. I'm going to give away some gems as far as people who have child support or alimony payments.
Awesome.
There's a lot of different areas and topics that I'm going to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
Student
Can you
loans.
share a little bit? I was just going to ask, can you share a little bit about student loans and how they
Student
can
loans.
impact your
Yes.
loan?
Student loans. I've seen some cases where borrowers may not have been current with their student loans and it goes into default and everybody just throws their hands up. Oh, I can't do anything anymore because I have a student loan that has defaulted now. Well, no, that's not the ending case there. There's ways to get that resolved. You have to pick up the phone, get into a payment arrangement with the student loan servicer, have them provide you with your documented monthly payment will be. And I can easily use that. Once you have reinstated and shown good faith into curing that default, then we can move forward, right?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing we're going to talk about with student loans. You want to
'Cause
make sure
again-
that, go ahead. I'm
Because
sorry.
again, the banks want to see your history of how you're paying things. So if it has defaulted, they want to see that you've corrected that, right?
Mhm.
They want to
Yes,
see that you've
yes.
corrected it and you've taken steps for it. And that's not a mark on your part that literally is showing them that you're responsible.
Yes,
Something I
exactly.
did want to also add as well. So a bankruptcy and foreclosure does not mean that you can't purchase a home. So
That's right.
Shanika, if you could share a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, there's so many different gems we're going to share, especially on the FHA loan. If you have a prior foreclosure, typically people think, "Oh, I have a foreclosure, I can never purchase again." Well, no, that's not true. If you have a foreclosure, usually the waiting period is really only just 3 years, and sometimes exceptions could be made if you can document that there are extenuating circumstances, right? So then we may be able to not allow you to wait for the 3 years and just maybe 1 year, depending how well you're able to document the challenges that you've gone through financially. So bankruptcies, 2 years out of the bankruptcy, you could pursue a mortgage loan. Chapter 13,
Wow.
you could pursue a
2
mortgage loan while you're
years?
actively in a Chapter 13. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can. So there's so much information that I'm going to share in that short period of time that our audience will be completely blown away and feel encouraged about
And
homeownership.
we talked about it, but just like any other industry, time has evolved, time has changed.
Mhm.
And so what you think you might know the answers to may have already changed when it comes
Yes.
to the financing
They change
department.
all the time.
They change all the
time.
time because it was a time when if you had a bankruptcy, you couldn't or foreclosure, you had to wait 7 years till that thing got off your credit.
Right. It can still be on your credit. After 3 years, you can begin to pursue a new purchase. It'll still be on your credit.
Yeah.
I'll see it. I'll ask you for the explanation as to why you had to undergo a foreclosure. What were the circumstances? You document it, make sure that it makes sense. Again, right? That honesty part, it has to
Yeah.
make sense. You have to be able to support it with the documentation, and you can still qualify for a mortgage.
Wow.
Can I just add something about title when it comes to bankruptcies?
Yeah.
As Shanique stated, Chapter 13, we can issue title insurance to the lender provided we get an order from the bankruptcy court saying that
the
we
court.
proceed with the transaction. That's all we need. However, if we don't have that, a bankruptcy has to stay. It has to be closed.
Mhm.
You have to be discharged, but the status has to be closed.
Right.
Otherwise,
But again, there's steps that you can take, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
There are steps that you can take. This is
Thank you
such
for adding
great
that,
information.
Sabrina. That's a good point.
Such
Yes.
great information. Again, the workshop is happening this Saturday, guys, December 14th. And the information is scrolling 10 to 3 p.m., 99 Commerce Place in Largo at Industrial Bank. You're going to have all kinds of great. Shanique has already gave us a bunch of gems. Tammy, Sabrina,
Yes.
thank you guys so very much. We've got about 6 minutes, y'all. Let's come on. What else would you like to share? Any other myths that you like to dispel?
Well, I just want to say
Mhm.
generational wealth. Once you buy your property, think about putting your property in a trust or a life estate. So those are things to think about. And we do have a team of attorneys who handle that for
Wow.
people as well. So you want to
Can
think
you
about,
Sabrina, could you explain the importance of putting it in a trust?
the trust. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Okay.
It's besides
Just
the
some
fact that
highlights.
it's probate preventable, besides that, because if you die, your successor trustee of your trust sells your property from the trust, not through
Mhm.
probate.
Got it.
In addition, inheritance taxes. It could be 0 to none. I mean, literally, you don't have to pay inheritance taxes on it, depending on the
Mhm.
size of your estate. That could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mm.
You can also put your business in if you have a business, you can put that in your trust. So there's so much to do with the trust.
Mhm.
And again, I do have my attorneys that work for me. They take care of preparing the trust, and we doing the deeds and transferring the title, and life estates as well. Life estate simply gives you 100% control as you do on your current deed to your home. It just says what happens to the property upon your demise. So those are things to think about
Yeah,
when you think about that generational wealth. Because
that's
tomorrow
good.
is not promised to
Yeah.
none of us. So
That's
something to think about.
good. That's
Very
good.
good.
And so that house is not going to be given over to the state, or that your
Right.
kids or family members aren't fighting for the house that is
Right.
clearly stated. That's great information. Anything else that we like to share? We're wrapping things up in just a few.
I just have one thing that I want to share with our self-employed listeners. So we actually have a program specifically for self-employed borrowers where they can qualify based on their bank deposits. So that's one of the specialty programs that we do offer. So a lot of times our self-employed borrowers have difficulty qualifying for conventional loans, but with one of our programs, they can qualify based on the average of their bank deposits.
Got
That's
it.
correct.
That's awesome, Tammy.
It could be anywhere from 12 to 24 months worth of bank deposits.
Got it. Because they have to prove income. And so sometimes
Yes.
as a self-employed person, it's
No
hard for them
tax
to.
returns, just bank
Yep,
statements.
just the bank
I might
statement.
have to call Industrial Bank to get me a mortgage.
Exactly.
Come on, Sabrina.
We're here for you, Sabrina.
Exactly. That's even the same
That's
thing.
awesome.
I'm
That's
talking,
amazing.
listen, Sabrina, I got to get the title insurance. I
I
got
know,
to get
right?
the renovation done. Listen, this is such good information. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching anywhere, if you're watching at praisedc.com, ask your questions. We've got about 2 minutes before we wrap up. We want to be able to answer any questions that you have. And if you don't have any today, bring them out to the workshop, which is happening on Saturday. There's going to be so many experts there that you could talk with, that you could share and get properties, even for those, who are talking about investment properties, right? This will be great.
That's right.
For those who want to come out and this is a good time. As Tammy said, interest rates are dropping. So this is a good time for you to come out if you're looking to invest in properties, to get more information from all the people that's going to be there. Get that pre-approval letter, honey. Get that superpower.
Pre-approval letter.
It's important. And refreshments will be served. Just so everyone knows, we are going to serve refreshments.
Now, folks, the folks want a good refreshment now. At the workshop. But yeah, that is such great information. I wish we had this kind of information at our fingertips when my husband and I were purchasing 25 years ago. But even now, like you said, things have changed so much. Refinancing might be an option for us, construction, reconstruction, and talking about doing some landscaping and things on the backyard to make the house value better. Oh, Faith. Okay, hey Faith. Looking forward to
Hey,
all
Faith.
of the gems. I think that's what that is. And Tara says, "What credit score so you need to have to buy a house?" Oh, okay, that's a great question. Is
That is
there
a good
a
question.
general
So
question?
for
Mhm.
FHA loan, the minimum is 580.
Okay. Oh,
It's
that's
all the way
good.
down to 580. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that is very good.
That's a FHA conventional loan, right?
FHA loan conventional is typically 640. Our minimum is 640.
That's not bad either, though. Because
We
Mhm.
most
do
people are
work
looking,
with
thinking they
other
have to be in the
partners.
700s or the 800s. Yeah.
Oh, no. So we do work with other partners that will go down to 620 for conventional
Right.
loans.
Hmm. That's good. Great question, Tara. Great question. Any other questions before we wrap up? We've got about to wrap this thing up. Put a bow on it because now's the best time for you to gift yourself a gift of home. All right, Tammy, once again, give us the information on the workshop on Saturday and we'll wrap this thing up.
Absolutely. Please join us on Saturday at our Industrial Bank offices located at 99 Commerce Place in Largo, Maryland. I will be there along with Shanique and Sabrina. We'll also have other industry experts there to talk about the real estate process. We're going to talk about appraisals. We're going to talk about home inspections. We're going to have down payment assistance agencies as well. So we'll have all of the good information, and providing you with the tools that you need in order to purchase a home. So we look forward to seeing everyone on this coming Saturday.
Awesome.
Yes.
Go to Eventbrite. She said this. Oh, great, Karen. She said, this has been so good. Appreciate you all. Looking forward to your seminar in 2025 in Southern Maryland. She said she's determined to bring you
We're coming.
Southern
We're coming.
All right, guys. Don't forget to go to eventbrite.com, register for the workshop on Saturday because it's absolutely free. Hey, Vanessa. She said great information. So make sure you go to eventbrite.com to go ahead and register for the workshop. If you have any questions about Industrial Bank, go to industrial-bank.com. That's industrial-bank. You see it scrolling at the bottom.com. Reach out to Shanique. Go ahead and get that superpower, get your pre-approval. Get on over to Sabrina, get that title insurance and go ahead and get the house that you're looking to get in the new year for your home, your gift for the holidays. You're welcome, Jolly. Thank you so much for peeking in. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. This has been great. We got to get together again. This is good.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
Thank you
for having us.
Yes, thank you for
to
having
Industrial
us.
Bank. And make sure you follow all the things that they're doing to see what else they have coming up, not only for this Saturday, but throughout the next year. Any closing remarks, Tammy? We good?
Please follow us on all social media platforms as well. We're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on Facebook.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, guys, have an amazing
you.
day. Go buy a house. Call
Yes.
Industrial.
Absolutely. Gift yourself a home.
Get
Gift yourself a home.
Yes.